Ever since coming back from the Four Nations face-off break, the Montreal Canadiens have honestly looked like a whole new team entirely. Yes, I know it's only a 2-game sample size, but man, I am proud of what this team has been able to do. They were able to defeat a division rival in the Ottawa Senators, who were trying to make a push for the playoffs, and they have been able to shut out a really good team in the Carolina Hurricanes. And along with that, Patrik Laine seems to also have been revived after the Four Nations break, as in the last 2 games he has 4 points, and he had a 3-point night against the Carolina Hurricanes, which ranks him second on the team for points in the last 2 games, as the captain, Nick Suzuki, the only one who has done better with 5 points in his last 2 games. The Four Nations break so far has served as a very nice reset for Laine, as in his last 5 games total, Laine has scored 7 points with 2 goals and 5 assists, and 3 assists in the Four Nations. But today, I wanted to analyze the last 2 games, and how Patrik Laine has significantly contributed to the Montreal Canadiens being revived. Let's start with the Laine goal against the Ottawa Senators just a few days ago. So the game is tied 2 apiece, and the Canadiens are up on the power play, and with a Canadiens team that is hungry, you know the Stars are going to be buzzing. And of course, it's Laine in the left circle, and if you don't already know how dominant Laine is in the left circle, he is pretty dominant, as the guy now this season has scored a total of 12 goals out of his 14 from that left circle, and it's all due to his amazing one-timer, which yes, teams are definitely starting to recognize now, but otherwise, it's still really dangerous. But back to the power play, and the face-off immediately goes to Suzuki's favor, and this puck comes out to Hudson. Now, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think A, Lane Hudson is going to pass this one off to Laine for a juicy one-timer, or do you think B, Hudson is going to attempt to take the shot on net, maybe for a tip, or just to try to get this one past? Well, Hudson knows Laine is hungry, so if you chose A, you would be correct. And man, Laine rips this one from the left circle and beats Allmark for the goal, which would end up being the game-winning goal and would put the Montreal Canadiens up 3-2 in this game. The next play I want to talk about is a crazy play, and I think you guys are going to like this one. So in the game where the Montreal Canadiens had played the Carolina Hurricanes, it is 1-0 Canadiens, and the Montreal Canadiens are looking to get up 2-0 to get a commanding lead on the Hurricanes, and Laine here recognizes the puck going up into the play and decides to make a push into the offensive zone, and Beck gets this puck from Matheson successfully and gets it into the zone while driving the play. Now Beck has the puck here, so what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think A, Beck is going to pass this puck off to Laine, who is decently open for a shot? Do you think B, Beck is going to shoot this one on net? Or do you think C, Beck is going to mess up? Well, if you chose B, you would be correct, as even though Laine was decently open, Beck commits to the shot and is stopped. But what happens next is even better, as this puck is passed over to Carrier, who takes a slapper and with Laine far out, tips the shot and takes a few bounces, and it looks like this puck is going slow, but it actually takes a few directional changes off of a couple more tips, and this one ends up going to the back of the net for the goal for the Canadiens, and now they have a 2-0 lead in the game. Now, for this next goal, the Montreal Canadiens are now up 2-0, and once again, they are up on the power play, and when the puck comes around the boards, it's Lane Hudson who does a really nice job here, fighting Seth Jarvis off of him to get this puck free over to Patrik Laine. But with Laine's amazing play in the left circle, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think A, Laine is going to shoot this one on net and go for a goal, since as we know, Laine has a ton of goals from that left circle? Or do you think B, Laine is going to pass this puck to Suzuki to get a really high danger scoring chance? Well, if you chose B, you would actually be correct, as even though Laine's shooting percentage from that left circle is amazing, he elects for the pass over to Suzuki, and man, does it pay off, as the captain makes no mistake and does it again for the Montreal Canadiens and gives them a commanding 3-goal lead up to this point on the Carolina Hurricanes. But now, we are in the 3rd period. The Canadiens have done a very nice job at holding the Hurricanes from getting shots on the net, as even though they have played the better game, the Hurricanes by this point have only had 16 shots on net. But now, it's Montreal on the power play once again over to Laine, who seems to try to pass this puck over to Suzuki, but this pass was either blocked or it just never connected, as it makes its way all the way down over to Hudson. Now, Hudson isn't exactly known as a shooter, so do you think A, Hudson is going to shoot this one on net to possibly have a chance at a goal? Do you think B, Hudson is going to try to pass this elsewhere, maybe to someone over here? Or do you think C, Hudson is going to give this one away, going to result in a breakaway for the Hurricanes? Well, believe it or not, if you chose A, you would be correct, as Hudson throws this one on net, and even though it looks like it was kind of tipped, it wasn't, as this one is going to be Hudson's goal, and yeah, the Canadiens now have a 4-0 lead on one of the most dangerous teams in the Metropolitan Division. And with some great defense by the Canadiens, Carolina was only limited to 3 shots in the last 10 minutes in the third period, and the Montreal Canadiens come out with a really nice win over one of the top teams in the Metro Division and one of the top dogs in the league. And the top players really showed up in this game as well, and some depth pieces. And Montembeault, who continues to give the Canadiens serviceable goaltending, played outstanding during this game as he gets a shutout. Some really good things to take away from this game is that Laine before the nation's break had only taken a total of 10 shots on net in the 8 games prior to it. And now, after the 4 nations break, Laine seems to be shooting the puck more, and in getting in better positions, he has now taken 5 shots in the last 2 games, getting a couple of goals in the process, and has seemed to earn himself the spot on the second line once again. As we know, previously he was benched in the Anaheim game and lost his spot on the second line, but now with his better play, Laine has gotten that position back, and I guess that is just where he belongs. The dude just performs better on that line. But another good thing to take away from this game is that Owen Beck played really well for me as second line center. The dude got some chances and was a nice fill-in for Kirby Dach, who is now unfortunately injured with a lower body injury and didn't play against the Carolina Hurricanes and supposedly won't play against the San Jose Sharks, but only time will tell. Anyways, with Laine's improved play, it is really promising to see him do well as we put in the points that he is. The Canadian schedule does get a little lighter now, with the Canadiens having to play San Jose tomorrow, and they have to play the Sabres twice after that. However, it is important to not underestimate the Sabres. They have put together a couple of nice wins since the 4 nations break, but wouldn't be surprised if the Sabres fought back. But hey, the Laine teams did have great luck playing the Sabres, so I really do wonder if the big man is going to get another hat trick against them. But it's unlikely, but man, it would honestly be great if he did. But even with Laine's good play at the 4 nations and his improved play in the last couple of games, it is apparent that he's only on pace for 39 points in his first season with the Canadiens. But it is suspected as well he's done this with Columbus, and I suspect that next season will be a lot better for Laine as he fits more and more within the Montreal system. But hey, up to this point, what do you guys think is going to happen? Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you believe Laine will get above 40 points this season, or do you believe Laine will finish this season under 40 points and only get in the 30-point range? Give me your thoughts down in the comments below, and well, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.